Welcome back, everybody, to TEW 2020, where we're continuing our local to global series after a long layoff. So, just to go over a few things, this is Southern Lights Wrestling. We're in Tasmania, otherwise known as basically the worst place to start a wrestling company in this game. And as an extra bonus, the wrestling industry is currently at a friggin' 2. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff here. But yeah, Tasmania. Yeah, as it says here, as a result, this is by some distance the hard place for a wrestling company to exist in the game world, and is therefore somewhere that only the supremely confident or totally sadistic would attempt to use as a base. This is the home region of SLW. Bump. But yeah, so there you go. So just go over things, just in case you forgot. I'll go over our roster, then in a second we'll be back for our actual first show in a while. So, we've got Quick Mercury Morris, who has a hyperactive annoyance gimmick. He's very good. He has chilly momentum. He has 11 overness in Tasmania. And he's a heel. And he's currently teaming with XS, who has a TikTok star gimmick with a pour. But he has a 15 overness in Tasmania. He has chilly momentum, and he currently is irritated. Oh well. Then we got Armando Guerrero, who also works as our road agent a lot of the time. He's in his mid-30s. He has a Mexican Patriot gimmick, which is going great. He's a babyface. He has an overness of 17. And he has cold momentum. The Black Flash, who's basically our star. He has an overness of 28. He has very warm momentum. He's currently annoyed. He's considered a major star, and he has an adequate mysterious gimmick. There's Blaze Maximum. He's 37. He's considered a major star. He has the High Energy Maniac gimmick, which is great. And he has an overness of 24. Then we have Bounce and Flip Buchanan, who are basically who you think they're based off of. And they're basically working as jobbers, but they currently have an overness of 12, which isn't bad. Bradley Regan is our ref. We have Siri D, who's our one manager. She has an overness of 1 in Tasmania. She has a Spoiled to Limerick gimmick, which is great. And she's currently managing Jonathan Wesker, who's this guy who has a narcissist gimmick, who is very warm momentum and is over in 20 in Tasmania. And also, she's also managing, Hank Greer, who has the next generation of gimmick, has chilly momentum, but he has an overness of 17 in Tasmania. So after that, we have Christian Blythe, who is considered a star by the fans. He has a next gen gimmick, which is adequate. He has cold momentum, and he has normal morale, and he has an overness of 11 in Tasmania. There's Dazzler, who is one of our major stars. He works as a camp heel gimmick, which is great. And he's an overness of 23 currently in Tasmania. We have Francis Burke, who's one of our considered a major star. He has a wrestler's gimmick, which is legendary. And he has an overness of 17 in Tasmania at the moment. We have Hack the Hunter, which has a man's man gimmick, which is adequate. He has a very warm momentum, and he has an overness of 18 in Tasmania. We have Hang 10 Lucas Pope, and we also have, where's his partner? Jesse Tasman, who are both surfers. Jesse has an overness of 22, and a legendary surfer dude gimmick. Lucas has a very good surfer dude gimmick, and overness of 23, and they are currently our tag team champions. Then we got Keith Cole, who is, I believe, our road agent, but he's also no good at it, which is why he is going to get released. Then we have Lance Lott, who has a Scowling Heel, which has a legendary gimmick, and it's an overness of 17. And yeah, he's fine. He's a major star, though. Leon Main, major star. Miners, Magnite, Sky. Lots of mining companies in Australia. He works heel, and he's an overness of 16 in Tasmania. We got Lone Rider, who has Outback Cowboy gimmick, which is legendary. He has an overness of 18. And then we also have the Kipper, who is a former Raw star. He has an overness of 24 in Tasmania. He's considered a major star by our fans, and he works babyface, and he has the Last Outlaw gimmick, which is also legendary. Then we have Merv, who's our announcer. We have Morton Pyle, who's working the Ultimate Geeko gimmick, which is basically just a guy. Works a heel, major star, sure still a goofy heel, and he has overdose of 19 Tasmania. Then we got Richie Hammer, who's working the Young Gun gimmick, which is adequate, and he's seen as a major star by our fans, and he has very warm momentum, and he has an overdose of 12 in Tasmania. Then there's Rob Edwards, who is considered a major star by our fan. He works heel. Has an overdose of 24 in Tasmania. He has very hot momentum. Unfortunately, his MMA douche gimmick is poor. And then there's Wesley Finch, which is my player character. And that's it. So then, just go over our storylines. We've got Sarah D Wants Talent, which is currently sort of moved into our sort of wacky tag team title feud between our new champions and Greer and Wesker. And then we have Who's the Best between basically the top guys in the company. Blaze Maximum, Lone Rider, Margaret Pyle, Rob Edwards, and the Kipper. So yeah. Our product, in case you forget, is just classic balanced. And if we look at our show history real quick, we've been basically getting 40s, but we've also been stuck at 20 people because, as noted, the wrestling industry currently sucks, but we've been not losing that much money, which is a upside. Size, we're up to 6 in Tasmania, which, hooray. But yeah. And like I said, we only have one title at the moment, which is the SLW Tag Team Championships, which is held by the Surfer Dudes. So, I'll be back in a second with results of the first Saturday Wrestling of August. Alright, now it's time for the first Saturday Wrestling of August 2020, so let's get this rolling. So we start out with Blaze Maximum and Rob Edwards coming out and talking about their main event Texas Tornado match against the Kipper and Lone Rider. Basically, Blaze, says like tonight's the night that we finally run off these fake cowboys back to their mamas and prove that we rule Southern Lights Wrestling. This gets a 27. Got the crowd hotter. Blaze Maximum enjoyed the freedom to go off script and got the show off to a strong start. Good stuff. And we're up to 29 people. Hooray. And next up we have Siri D with her team. She basically says like, last month I debuted the team that will put Australian tag team wrestling back on the map, but unfortunately SW officials would rather have a bunch of dumb surfer dudes as the champions, but that's no mind. Sooner or later, my boys, Greer and Wesker, will be back at the top of wrestling, and I will be back on TV where I belong. And this gets a 28, which is a solid promo, and Sarah D enjoyed freedom to go off script, and Hank Greer improvised. Jonathan Wesker, on their hand, did not go so well. And we're off to our first match of the evening, as it's Jonathan Wesker and Hank Greer defeating Armando Guerrero and Francis Burke in 11-19 when Wesker pinned Armando Guerrero with follow-away slam after Siri D interfered. I'm going to say that's probably a distraction of some sort, but Francis gets a 32, Armando gets a 35, Hank gets a 26, Jonathan gets a 21, and this match got the crowd hotter, and Siri D did some good work at ringside. But yeah, 28 isn't bad at all. And then we are off to basically a random 6-man to get some people on the show so they don't complain being left off. And about had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Black Flash, Christian Blythe, and Reggie Hammer defeated Mortimer Pyle, Lancelot, and Leon Main in 12-26 when Black Flash pinned Lancelot with a senton bomb. This gets a 36. Hammer gets a 27. Blythe gets a 42. Black Flash gets a 48. Leon Main gets a 23. Lancelot gets a 37. And Mortimer Pyle gets a 32. And then afterwards, we have Mortimer Pyle and Kristen Blythe fighting to the back, and that gets a 24. Afterwards, we have a showdown between Lucas and Dazzler. Dazzler does his Camp Hill gimmick, basically, doing his best to, sort of flirt with Hang Ten, who says, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not like that, but why don't we fight, dude? And this gets a 46, as Lucas improvised well throughout the segment. Not bad at all. Then we're on to the match, which also gets a 46, Jesus. About that is superb wrestling, good heat. Dazzler defeated Hang Ten Lucas Pope in 10:44 by a pinfall with a handful of tights. And this gets a 46, like I said. Dazzler gets a 35, and Lucas gets a 57. And then, in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Blaze Maxim and Rob Edwards defeated the Kipper and Lone Rider in a Texas Tornado match in 12:15 when Blaze Maxim pinned Lone Rider with a handful of tights. And Kipper sustained a strained bicep. And so Rob got a 44, Blaze got a 33, Lone Rider got 39, and the Kipper got a 35, mainly because the Kipper was slowed by injury, and this overall gets a 39, like I said. Yep, thanks for letting me know. And the heels celebrate after the match to a 38. And this increased our popularity in one region, so let's give Kipper for a good example. Let's give Hang 10 because he had a great match. Where is he? And then also let's go with Armando. Let's see if there's any mail, and then we'll go on to the second show of the month. And this will just take a second to load, because of course it will. Alright, let's see here. Yeah. Ooh, Rob Edwards botched the move. Of course he did. Medical wise. Okay, Kipper is... Okay, it's out for 3 days. Okay, cool. So, we'll be back in a second with just the second half of the month, and we'll go from there. Okay, now it's time for the second half of August as we're at SLW Saturday Wrestling in week 4 of August of 2020. So let's get this rolling. So we start the show off with Blaze and Rob making fun of the Cowboys, basically saying, you know, they're bringing off and cry because the Kipper got a little hurt, and it showed that we're in charge of this company and nobody else is. And this got a 27, so solid stuff. And in a quick match, and a decent match actually, Hack the Hunter defeated Quick Mercury Morris in 8:19 by pinfall with the epic side suplex, and this got a 21, and yeah, match got the crowd hotter. And then Hack yelled Hack to the crowd, which got a pop, and it got a 30. And 26 people because, by the way, the wrestling industry is down to 0. Rock friggin' bottom. Yeah, I don't know either. And then after that, we have a 4-way match where we have Armando Guerrero defeating Francis Burke, Lancelot, and XS in 13:26. When Armando Guerrero pinned XS with a spinning elbow strike, this got a 32. Armando got a 39, Francis got a 35, Lance got a 36, and XS got a 25. And then Armando celebrating got a 39. After that, we have a quick freestyle segment between Leon Main, Reggie Hammer, and Blythe, all arguing over who's going to be the one to win the triangle match. Main said, you know, he's of better birth. Blythe just was cool, and Hammer says he's going to drop the hammer. And it's got a 30, solid stuff. And then in the actual match, which got a 28, Leon Main defeated Kristen Blythe and Reggie Hammer in 10:55. When Leon Main pinned Reggie Hammer, Blythe got a freaking 41, Reggie Hammer got a 27, and Leon Main got a 22. And then Main celebrating got a 34. After that, we had our main event of the evening, which was a tag team title match based on Dazzler defeating Tasman at the last show, and both had great wrestling and good heat. Hang 10, Lucas Pope, and Jesse Tasman defeated Mortar Pyle and Dazzler in 14:25 when Tasman pinned Dazzler with the Fireman's Carry Slam. So this got a 41 overall. Dazzler got a 37, Pyle got a 29, Tasman got a 34, and Pope got a freaking 58. And then to end the show, we had Series D with our charges, Wesker and Greer, running in and attacking the champs, which got a 33. So overall, again, 26 people. This got a 38 overall and increased our popularity. So let's make a speech. First, Hang 10. Let's see here. Also, Armando. And who's the other guy? Oh, right, Christian. And let's see if anything as far as news popped up, and then we'll go to the end of the month to go over everything, and we'll close things out. So let's just take a second to load up. Alright, so email-wise, Hank Greer, okay. And then merchandise upgrade. Woohoo! We're up to small time. Which means what we need to do real quick, which you'll see me doing real quick, is we need to start the upgrade on from small time. So back in a second with the end of the month stuff, so that'll be just a moment. Alright, it's time for the basically monthly wrap-up. So, first some actual, big news. Hank Greer walked out. That's unfortunate. Well, and the weird thing is, okay, so if we go to Hank, right. So, Hank. Oh, right, I forgot his name was Hank Greer. So, if we go to his actual match history, like, it wasn't like they were, like, dying here. Like, he had gone, he was, like, 500, and he was going to get a push. And look, they won, like, 3 out of the last 4 weeks. What the heck? He only lost once since May. So that's just dumb. Okay, yeah. Whatever. Anyway, on that note, let's go back to our... So anyway, so first, our size-wise, we're still at a 6, because again, the wrestling tree is at a 0, and it's still falling. Jesus Christ. So if we go to our creative, franchise players is still Lucas Pope, Rob Edwards, Jesse Tasman, Black Flash, and Blaze Maximum. Who's hot is Lucas Pope, Rob Edwards, Black Flash, Hack the Hunter, and Jesse Tasman. So looking at our roster, again, Mercury Morris is now at a 12. Armando Guerrero is at a 17. Black Flash is still at a 28. Blaze is at a 23. Bounce is at a 14. Siri D is still at a 1, but she's getting there. Christian Blythe is still at 11. Dazzler is at 24, which I'm not sure if that's up or down for him. Let's see here. Dazzler. Okay, so actually slightly up. Flips is at a 12. Francis Burke is at a 17. Hack is still at 18. Hang 10 is at 23. Jesse's up to 23. Wesker's at 20. Lance Lott is at 17. Leon Main is at 18. Lone Riders is at 16, or 18 rather, which, yeah, it's still going up slowly. Moira Pyle is at a 20. Reggie Hammer is at a 13. Rob Edwards is at a 25. The Kipper's at a 24. Wesley Finch, our player character, is at a 5, and Excess is at a 16. So, you know, still not the best. Backstage, we still have good backstage things because we have people who are loyal to us, and yeah, even though we got some, you know, negative influence, it's not the worst thing in the world. And finance-wise, we lost less money, so we only lost $2,000, which is not, you know, not the end of the world. But our sponsors are up to $1,529, and yeah, worker costs was slightly down. Show cost was about the same. So yeah, we're slowly getting there. Hopefully we won't die. You know, hopefully we won't die. I guess this is the best thing I can say. But, you know, that's all for now. Thanks, you know, and this is going to be, you know, semi-regular. You know, this will be going with other projects I've got going, but I do enjoy doing this, so, you know, you might see this a little more often. It just depends on what's going on. But regardless, thanks for watching. You know, like if you're enjoying this, comment below once you're liking and non-liking, and subscribe to the channel for a whole lot of TEW 2020 content. That's all for now, so talk to you later, and adios.